for the conversation about how the museum, how exhibitions can also be some sort of platforms for colonial power.
Could you maybe tell us, do you have any ideas about the possibility of the opposite? So where you see that museums are producing or reproducing ideas around colonial power, do you see, for instance, the opposite happening? Perhaps, what role could museums play in decolonizing knowledge, decolonizing systems?
Well, one of the big examples, and I will talk about one of the projects that I have done is this queer museum that we established in 2012, 2014 here in Bogota. Because as Luiza said, I mean, if we talk about knowledge and governance and economy, obviously humanity is part of this colonial scheme. And humanity, we can think about patriarchy and sexuality. This queer museum, we don't have a building. We don't actively collect things. So we don't do things that are traditionally perceived as what a museum does. And we didn't want to create like a niche for an LGBT community here. We acknowledge that our history is important, of course, but we wanted to sort of like infiltrate other museums. So we have collaborated with the National Museum, with the Museum of Modern Art, with the Botanical Gardens here in Bogota and in Medellin, because we felt like they have spaces, they have already audiences, and it will be most special if we sort of like make a bridge between those audiences that are traditional for the museum and these queer histories that are not at the walls of those museums. So probably that's one of the strategies, like collaborating between this civil initiative and these institutions that are already established in various cities here.
Yeah, it sounds like a really interesting approach to have like a wall-less, infiltrating, flowing programming that really emphasizes the queerness. So really pluriversing. Can you make it a verb? So just pluriversing these spaces by introducing other worlds, by introducing other perspectives and other approaches. So how long have you had this?
We started between 2012 2014, like imagining this museum. I remember we used to meet every Saturday or every 2 Saturdays. And for those of you interested out there, if you want to have more details about our projects, there's an article that got published recently in Museum International. This is a magazine from the International Council of Museums that is dedicated entirely to LGBT museums and initiatives. And there are a lot of right now in Latin America, in Argentina, in Ecuador, in Honduras, a lot of initiatives that are trying to recover and present the histories that obviously for the colonial scheme, we sometimes we don't see.
Yeah.
So 2015 was our first exhibition.